How much walking should I do each day to lose weight effectively? I'm obese and I'm a beginner to fitness. I started walking every day and I've put myself in a calorie deficit, roughly 1,200 to 1,500 calories a day. Ooh.
Of a deficit, or they're eating that
I
much?
don't know. I think that's what they're eating.
Okay.
I don't keep very good track, to be honest.
It's okay.
Flag that. Eating healthy food, such as fruits and vegetables, almonds, beans, chicken. Nice. I can walk up to a maximum of 2 hours at a time before I feel like I'm going to collapse. Okay.
Before I feel like I'm going to collapse.
I've worked myself up consistently to walking an hour once or twice a day. While that might sound like all well and good, the problem is I get ravenously hungry and usually resort to binge eating, and the next day I gain a little weight. Okay, well, you don't, but...
It all evens out.
To avoid this, I'm thinking tomorrow I should try 30 minutes twice a day and see how the results go. But if I can keep walking up to an hour or 2 hours a day, maybe I should keep going. If you can offer any advice on this, I'd really appreciate it. I keep a log of how much weight I gained, lost, how much I'm exercising, how I'm doing with my food. But I binge every day. So if you have any further questions, let me know. I also have a cheap smartwatch, which helps me stay on track.
Okay.
A lot of stuff to unpack here.
Yeah.
Let's originally answer the how much walking should I do each day to lose weight? What's your concept on this?
That's such an undefined question. That's an unmeasurable question.
With a lot of these questions that we get off of Reddit, it depends, or we need more information.
Well, there's not a goal stated. So like, how much walking do you need to do to lose weight? Well, if you keep your eating the same and you increase your steps by 500 in one day, you're burning more calories. So over time, you would lose weight.
Yeah, that's a great answer.
So what is the actual question?
Well, you need to do as much walking to increase your calorie deficit. Mm-hmm. If you are not taking any other intervention, mm-hmm. any change in diet, any change in anything else, mm-hmm. just to walk, you will need to figure out how much to get yourself into a calorie deficit.
Yeah.
Now, this guy,
there are some other factors going on here.
This person is not really concerned with walking. I think what's happening here is, and I feel very qualified to answer this question because I'm a person that loves to exercise. Mm-hmm. I love it. I've started running now for some unknown reason, but I'm actually really enjoying it.
It's fun.
But the issue that I seem to be running into is very similar to our friend here. Mm-hmm. I will run, and on days that I run, I will be so hungry. So mm-hmm. It's absurd. I'll run for 30 minutes, and I'll be more hungry than if I did a squat, bench, deadlift day for 4 hours.
That is so funny.
I don't know why, but it triggers
I don't know why either, but it is true.
Hormonal or behavioral or whatever. Something's going on in me that when I come home from the run, I'm eating.
Yeah.
Right? So a lot of times, I think that this person has already had a good idea, mm-hmm. which was kind of pare down the exercise. Because again, there was a really interesting point. 2 hours at a time before I feel like I'm going to collapse.
You don't need to work until you're going to collapse.
100%.
That's not necessary.
We're going to get... Another disclaimer here, I'm not a psychologist. I'm just talking off of my own experience. But mm-hmm. people that deal with obesity or binge eating have a tendency to punish themselves with exercise. Mm-hmm. I fall into this category. Mm-hmm. If I have a day where I've binged, the next day when I'm in the gym, you better believe
you're going for it.
I'm crushing myself, right? And I'm working on that.
Yeah.
Because it should not be that the scales need to be balanced between exercise and diet. They should both be on this side of trying to assist you in a body composition change, right?
Doing the best you can in both arenas.
You should not be fighting against yourself, right? And it should not be a punishment, first and foremost. But second of all, it's a great idea to kind of pare down because it could be, if you are obese, 30 minutes a day, 2 times a day, is going to be very difficult for you. And you're going to burn quite a bit of calories having to move that amount of mass. Mm-hmm. So you need to find a way to exercise that's not going to trigger a bunch of ghrelin and a bunch of hunger hormones. Mm-hmm. And if it's behavioral, you're going to have to realize that just because you've exercised does not then entitle you to a binge, which is another thing that usually happens with us binge eaters. It's like, oh my God, let me celebrate whole pizza. It's like, pump the brakes, right? But also understand that if you eat or if you have a binge eating episode, just get back on the horse the next day. Mm-hmm. You don't have to do an extra 30 minutes.
Right.
Just stick to your 30 minutes and try again with your eating patterns the next day.
But I think it is smart to maybe pare down the exercise to a point where the hunger isn't totally unbearable. I've not, dealt with binge eating myself, but I do understand.
Well, you've dealt with me.
Yeah, I have dealt with you.
Binge eating patterns.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's, if you know that this is something that you're prone to, not having the dangerous or trigger foods.
Yeah, but
where you can get to them.
The issue is sometimes, man, if you're
really, you get fixated,
and you'll eat anything. It doesn't have to be the trigger food sometimes. Sometimes I'll sit there and I'll eat 14 tortillas. Bland ass tortillas, man. Like nothing on them. It's a problem. Like it's a behavioral problem, right? Yeah. So it's about balance.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you
trying to find foods that you can eat after your exercise that are high volume.
It is about changing the relationship with the food.
Yeah.
It really is. It's about saying, what, this food is not a reward. This food is not a pleasure center for me right now. This food is fuel.
Right. And it might be really helpful to talk to a dietitian or even a therapist who can help reframe those relationships with you.
Give you some strategies to be able to figure out how to do that.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of people out there that are specifically trained in.
And I think that's very valuable.
Yeah.
I really kudos to you for trying to make a change. You're on the right path. Mm-hmm. Now it's just shaking down the details. Mm-hmm. But you've got the macro thing is making the decision and doing the exercise and trying to curtail some of your binge eating tendencies.
Well, and even a small change over time adds up.
Oh yeah.
Like I said at the very beginning, it's if you change nothing and you increase your steps by 500 a day, it'll be slow.
Yes, exactly.
But after doing that for a couple of months, you'll probably have lost a little bit of weight.
Exactly. I think we see this a lot of times with very, very over dieted bodybuilding competitors. Now this is a completely different format because bodybuilding is not a health sport.
No.
So you're not, this person's working towards their health. But with bodybuilders, when they're very, very dieted, a lot of times coaches, and myself included, will pull their cardio. Now, this is up in the air. Everybody does it differently. But sometimes an intense bout of cardio will really trigger hunger more than not doing the cardio would do for your calorie deficit. Does that make sense?
Yeah. You would eat more to combat the hunger hormones than you would have lost by doing the exercise to begin with.
Yes. And some people have an iron will.
Yeah.
And can still do the cardio and say, you know what?
And just be hungry.
I'm going to be hungry. I'm going to be miserable. Those are the real good bodybuilders because that's really what you need, right? I'll never be a bodybuilder. I'm okay with that.
Me neither.
I'm not.
I don't want to be a bodybuilder. I was
not put on this earth to be a competitive bodybuilder. I'm too hairy.
Neither one of us has the genetics for it or the disposition for it.
But I do love the sport. And I
admire the discipline.
The people that are able to do it.
It is incredible.
Good for you.
Do I want to do it?
No. But that is to
I feel that way about almost every sport though. I can't do any sport, but I'll watch a sports game and someone will do something really incredible. I'm like, man, that is awesome. Good for them. They've put so much work into being great at football, and he just jumped over a 6-foot human being to score a touchdown, ending in a somersault. Damn, that's great for him.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. I'm never going to do it, but good for that guy.
I think you can appreciate acts of athleticism without being athletic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I feel the same way about bodybuilding. It's a sport that I don't understand and I never will, and I'm never going to do it. But damn if it isn't cool.
It is cool, but it can be dangerous. All that to say, and this is not me saying don't exercise if you're trying to lose weight. It's all in the diet. I'd say it's 70% in the diet. I usually take a diet forward approach with my weight loss clients, but exercise can assist you in so many different ways, mentally and physically with a weight loss process. Plus, if you're putting on muscle, the muscle is more metabolically active than fat tissue.
Yes.
So at the end of the fat loss diet, you may find that you'll be able to creep your calories back up to a maintenance level that feels more comfortable for you in your day to day without putting on a little bit more of that fat.
Yeah.
So obviously, yes, exercise is important, but not to the point where you are triggering an insane binge episode afterwards.
Right.
Or using it as punishment for a binge eating episode.
Right.
So there you go. Hope we answered your question there. Good luck with it, man. I mean, if you ever watch this, just know we're rooting for you.
Yeah.